Episode 29 of ECW CyberSlam begins with the commentator's introduction being cut short as Rhino makes his way down to the ring. Rhino says that he's not willing to wait until the main event to get a shot at CM Punk. He wants him right now. Joey Styles and Taz are surprised by this turn of events, but it appears that the ECW Television Championship match will be opening the show. Rhino unfortunately not doing too well without a script there, but we are into that first match. A very good opener, a 66 C+ rating, CM Punk sustaining a broken nose which isn't good, but he gets a 76 rating personally, Rhino with a 59 in 15 minutes. Well established that is the time limit of ECW Television Championship matches, and unfortunately, while Rhino is setting up to gore CM Punk, the ring bell goes and the match is over. When this happens, there is a brief confusion with Rhino not knowing why the match is over. The referee looks to explain the situation to him, but Rhino changes course and takes down referee John Cone with a gore. After the move connects, the referee lays lifeless in the ring and is stretchered out from the building. The Rhino is escorted to the back. The commentator is putting over how serious attacking an arm wrestler is and what the consequences could be for Rhino. We then get an interview in the back with Tommy Dreamer, Jade asking him about the main event match between Raven and Xavier. The match had originally scheduled to be a tag team match, Raven and Dreamer against Xavier and Sonny Siaki, but an injured Tommy Dreamer cannot compete and the match has been changed. Dreamer says that he's going to be out at ringside for the match, not because he's got Raven's back, but because when it comes to fighting off the hustle, he'll always be there. After the match, however, he's got something he needs to say to Raven, and he's not going to be caught out for a third time. We'll then get a video package looking back at the rivalry between Kevin Fertig and Elijah Burke, particular focus on an incident from last month. Kevin Fertig chokeslammed Angel Williams in the middle of the ring, resulting in her being rushed to hospital. Burke has vowed revenge, but will have to go it alone, while Fertig will have Shelly Martinez in his corner. And it's not a very good match, a 41 from Burke, a 39 from Fertig, a poor match in fact, and Shelly Martinez is the difference, grabbing the leg of Elijah Burke. This allows Kevin Fertig to hit the chokeslam through a table in the middle of the ring, picking up the 1, 2, 3. After the match, with Elijah Burke laid out in the rubble of the table, the happy couple, Kevin Fertig and Shelly Martinez, stand over him, licking each other's faces to celebrate their victory. We then get a pre-recorded vignette putting over the recently completed Extreme Horsemen. Unfortunately, I've not put Paul Burchill on screen for some reason, but he is rated on overness in it, so I don't know why I've done that. Anyway, now complete, the four men are introduced by Steve Corino. We have the Gatekeeper, Stevie Richards, the Enforcer, C.W. Anderson, the Ripper, Paul Burchill, and last but not least, the King of Pro Wrestling. Corino calls them the most dominant unit in pro wrestling today and says that they're coming for all the gold in ECW. We then get a C-rated interview with Rob Van Dam and Sabu, looking to promote next week's main event. RVD does the talking, recapping last week when they got involved in the main event. He speaks confidently about their chances of winning, while also putting over Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero, the ECW World Tag Team Champions. RVD is also asked about Rhino's actions early in the night, and he says that between the Hustle, the Extreme Horsemen, Paul Heyman and Rhino, he's got a hell of a lot to think about. He just hopes that when he does face Rhino, he'll fight him man to man and not attacking from behind like he has the last two times. That main event, it's a D+48. I do think that the angles and the match earlier on in the night means we've not got too much to worry about, but I would have hoped for better. Raven again with a 35, showing that he's not really up to it in terms of in-ring performance, especially in the new ECW when someone like Xavier is getting 20 points better than him. Nonetheless, when Sonny Siaki tried to get involved, Tommy Dreamer stayed true to his word, helping Raven by getting rid of Sonny Siaki. In the distraction, Raven was able to hit the Raven effect to Xavier, picking up the 1, 2, 3. After the match, Tommy Dreamer joins his long-term rival in the ring. Once again, this strange dynamic between them. They're fighting on the same side despite being bitter enemies. Determined to not get caught a third time, Tommy grabs Raven, spinning him around, looking to return the favour and hit a DDT of his own. Raven is ready for this and able to block the attempt and rolls out of the ring. As Raven walks up the ramp, Dreamer grabs a microphone and tells him to stop. Tommy begins talking about them needing to bring this to an end once and for all. Paul Heyman comes out and cuts off Tommy Dreamer, telling him he's got something more important to say, and announces that 8 weeks from Sunday, ECW will return to pay-per-view with November to Remember 2006. He says that this pay-per-view will be of particular interest to Raven and Tommy Dreamer because they're involved in the first match he is announcing for the pay-per-view. Dreamer seems happy about this, thinking that he is finally getting his hands on Raven, until Paul Heyman adds another note. Instead of facing each other at November to Remember, they'll be rewarded for their excellent work as a team together when they challenge the Havana Pitbulls for the ECW World Tag Team Championships. And it says a lot about Dreamer and Raven that Paul Heyman is getting a 49D plus in a segment. He is normally able to drag anybody up. I'm really disappointed with how this story is going so far, but that is the end of the show, and we get a 52D plus. That is very bad. That brings us right back to where we were 3 or 4 months ago. I thought we'd got over the hump of these D plus shows, but I'm learning that basically I shouldn't have put CM Punk and Rhino as the opener. I know obviously that from a rating standpoint it was obvious, but I did just want to do something different in changing the order of the show. That has backfired because Raven is absolutely terrible in ring. We are in a bit of a disappointing run at the minute, but next week hopefully can kick us out of that as Rob Van Dam and Sabu team against the ECW World Tag Team Champions Ricky Reyes, Rocky Romero, the Havana Pitbulls.